What's up everybody? Derek here with Minute Maintenance. In this video I'm going to show you how to replace your CV axles, replace your IWEs, whether you're replacing them with another IWE or if you're going to use eliminators like I am, and more than likely how to change the CV axle seal. Pretty easy job all in all, doesn't require too many tools. Honestly, the hardest part is just popping the CV axle out of the differential, but I'll show you that when we get to it. So let's dive on in. Okay guys, obviously first thing you need to do is chock your back wheel, jack it up, take your tire off. Next thing we're going to do is take this cap off. Behind there is the axle nut, it's 13 millimeters. Then we are going to then we're going to take this bolt out and this bolt out, and we're going to pull this clip, and then we're going to undo our tie rod nut. That's 21 millimeter. And we'll do our upper ball joint nut. That's also 21 millimeter. Undoing all of that is going to allow us to take our knuckle and push it out of our way so we can get the axle off. And I just use pliers to get this cap off. Like I said, this is 13 millimeter. I'll take this nut out, or bolt out. And this is an 8 millimeter. I'll take this bolt out, that's a 10 millimeter. And then pull this out of the bracket. Then I'm going to use an impact, and I'm going to zip off my tie rod end nut and my ball joint nut. I'm not going to take my ball joint nut off all the way, and I'll show you why when I get to it. Okay, so I just loosened it. That's because I need to actually separate my ball joint from my knuckle. In order to do that, I'm going to smack on my knuckle here, and I might have to tap on the bottom of the ball joint stud a little bit, but I leave that nut on there so that when it drops it doesn't completely pop off, because there's tension on this, so this will shoot up and your knuckle will just fall over. Not a huge deal, but I don't want it to do that. And I'm going to make sure this is just finger tight so that it's easier to take off. Okay, tie rod, I'm going to smack my knuckle. And then I just tap the bottom a couple times, it pops right out. If you have your IWE vacuum lines hooked up still, you'll need to disconnect those and get them up out of the way. I pulled all of mine out when I put my Gen 2 shocks in, because I knew I was switching to eliminators at some point. So you'll probably have two vacuum lines run into this. Just unplug them and pull them so they're loose, just like our brake line and our ABS wire. And then down here, like I said, I just smack right here 3 or 4 times, and then tap on the bottom of this nut or stud, and it should just pop right up. And now we're gonna give our knuckle a smack. There, that's free. Put a little tension down and get my nut off the rest of the way. And then when that comes up, you just want to hold on your knuckle so it doesn't just fling over. So there, my knuckles all the way out of the way. Brake line and my ABS line don't have that much tension on them, so we're good to go. As you can see, this is why I'm changing my axles. A lot of times when you shut off your IWEs, it'll cause your axle to spin all the time, and it's not used to that. Especially on this truck, it's got 110,000 miles on it. So these boots get brittle. Apparently the Ford ones aren't great to begin with, so when that axle starts spinning nonstop, it just causes them to rip. These are still, like, they're not making any noise while I'm driving. They're just tore, and I want to get them replaced before my trip coming up. Next thing we're going to do is remove our IWE. There's 3 8mm bolts. There's one here, and then there's one on the bottom down here. And that's just going to give us a little bit more room to get our axle up out of our knuckle. Like I said, these are 8mm nuts or bolts. I don't know why I keep doing that. Okay, I got my bolts out. Just gonna take a little pry bar and pry up right here. Just gonna break it free. Okay, now that's loose. I'm gonna pull my knuckle up a little bit. And just maneuver the end of your axle out of there, and there it's free. If all you're doing is your IWE, obviously you just take that off, put your new one on, put it all back together. Now that we got this end free, next thing we need to do is get this end out. There is a special tool that clamps around this with a slide hammer, and then you just pull. Essentially all we're trying to do, there's a little circlip inside there, and I can show you when we get it out, but that circlip sits inside of a groove in the differential, and that's what holds it into the diff. That, and then the pressure from this end. So we need to get that circlip kind of squished in so the axle will pop out. Let's figure out the best way to do this. On the driver's side, this is the passenger side. On the driver's side, I was able to stick a pry bar in between the axle and the differential and just give it a few pops, and it came right out. So here's our CV shaft, and this is part of our differential. Right here is a seal. If this is leaking, you'll need to replace that. I think what I'm going to try to do is get a pry bar here and then pry up against my skid plate. Let's see what that does. Alright guys, took a little bit of work, but I got it out, got it freed. Pull it off. So after we get our axle off, we want to make sure that this C-clip is still here. This is our intermediate shaft, and that little clip is what holds that axle onto this. So we want to make sure that that is still there. If your seal is leaking, you're going to want to pull this out, and then you'll have to pry this out and then tap a new one in with a little piece of wood. Mine's not leaking, So what happened was this shaft actually came out with my axle. So it took a little bit of work for me to separate my CV axle from this intermediate shaft. And then after I did, I was able to just press this back in. If that happens, you'll just have to get creative. I would have loved to show you guys, but I couldn't find a good place to put the camera. But basically just tap on your intermediate shaft in this area, tap on your half shaft kind of on the end right here, and get them to separate, and then push that intermediate shaft back in. So, as you can see, that's locked in again. Sorry for all the noise too. I'm working outside. It's kind of windy and there's a lot of people driving around. So this is our new axle. Putting this in is going to be exactly the same as taking it out. Obviously, just slip it on here, and then you're going to maneuver this into the end after you put your IWE on there. Slip it through the end, put it all back together. Exact opposite of how you took it apart. This is the IWE. It's part of the four-wheel drive system. These go bad quite a bit, but the way they work is there's a vacuum being pulled on them, and that keeps these axles from spinning all of the time. When you activate your four-wheel drive, it shuts the vacuum off, and this ring here actually locks on to your axle, which provides your four-wheel drive. It makes the tires be moved by your transfer case, your differential, all that stuff. Like I mentioned, I had already taken my vacuum lines off, which is, if you're having IWE problems, you can absolutely do that. But that's not very much steel to be going on here and onto the wheel bearing, your actual hub assembly. So I bought these. Dorman makes a set. They look just like the stock ones, but they don't have the vacuum actuation. So you can see this moves in and out. These are made by RCV. They're nice, thick, heavy duty chunk of steel. These are gonna be a lot better. A lot of people don't like IWE eliminators. A lot of people love them. I would much rather just have stuff simple and work when I tell it to work. So that's why I'm switching to these. So there you go, guys. No fancy tricks for putting it back together. Like I said, you're just gonna exact opposite of what you did to take it apart. Just make sure you get your IWE or your eliminator, whatever you end up using, back on the end of your axle before you put it through your hub assembly. I'll put torque specs below, obviously list of tools that I ended up using. If you have troubles with that intermediate shaft coming out and you have questions, please feel free to ask them below. I usually respond pretty quick. Yeah, this is a maintenance issue. Obviously my boots were bad. One way you'll know if your axles themselves are bad is if you're going to hear clunking as you turn, especially. If it's clunking while you're just going down the road, then it's past time to change your axles. But with CV shafts, you'll usually notice the noise just when you start to turn and accelerate. It'll be like a clunk, clunk, clunk. So it's time to replace them. With my axles, I'm gonna keep them in the back of the truck along with my old IWEs. That way, if something happens on the trail, I've got an extra set of axles and I've got an extra set of IWEs. So if me or a buddy breaks an axle or an IWE, I've got a spare. Simple job. I could do it on the side of the trail. So kind of like my serpentine belt, if you guys watch that video. If my parts aren't broken, I'm going to hold on to them, keep them in the truck, especially when I go on long trips, because I don't want to get stranded in the middle of nowhere and have to pay thousands of dollars for either a tow or for someone to come out and fix my truck just so I can get home. So I've got plenty of room in the bed. Might as well hold on to them. I think that's it for me, guys. Again, if you have questions, comments, leave them below. Appreciate a like on the video or a subscription or subscribe, whatever they call it. Share it with your friends. Have a great day.